everyone, to the final installment in this year's Tune-Up Tuesday series. I'm Kelly Robert. I'm the Journey Program Manager here at UBT. Journey provides awesome opportunities for enrichment, engagement, education for our customers who are lucky enough to be over 50. We started the Tune-Up Tuesday series, during COVID, and it has proved so very popular that we've just kept bringing it to you every January with topics that you want to get better at, make some improvement at. Technology is always a topic that people are saying they want to learn more about, and we just get it, we think, figured out, and then, it changes. So we decided we wanted to do a segment on just tidying up your tech. New year, you're making improvements in your home, your health, your financial health. Why not tidy up your tech? And we called in the big guns for this.
Oh,
I don't know.
geez.
No pressure, Nate. The name of the segment is Tune Up Your Tech, Declutter Your Devices for the Year Ahead. And we have Nate Gleaves. He's the, Nate Gleaves is the Employee Experience Advocate at UBT. Nate, I always trip over your title, and I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault. It's quite the job title.
Nate is UBT's tech guru. He spends his days helping bank employees tackle tough tech issues, so he knows firsthand that digital doesn't come naturally to everyone. I should just have him on 24-hour retainer, seriously. So that's why he's ready to walk us through the best practices for organizing devices and making technology feel less intimidating. He's a writer of emails, maker of instructions, and trainer of technology. He was born and raised on a turkey farm. I've always meant to ask him more about that. On a turkey farm in the middle of nowhere, south central Nebraska, and grew up fascinated by computers and electronics. He's been with UBT for over 13 years and spent that first decade of his employment in the IT department, helping UBT associates with their technology questions and educating them on current and future technology offerings within the company. He's very good at it. He makes cute videos. It makes it very easy to understand. He currently resides in an office in the corner of HR, mostly because IT leadership doesn't know what to do with him. And he continues to assist with company-wide communications, whether they be IT related or otherwise. We're getting a little glimpse of his corner office there today. Nate, welcome.
Thanks, Kelly. That was about the best description of what I do I could have possibly asked for. Before we get started, like Kelly said, if you have questions for me over what we're talking about here, please do not hesitate to post them in the chat. Kelly will be monitoring that, and we'll go over those as we're going through the meeting. People are always afraid to ask tech questions, even though I think I've built a pretty good reputation of being pretty easy to talk to. There is no such thing as a dumb question. You know what you know, you don't know what you don't know. A question is just a question as far as I'm concerned. So if you have a question over something I'm going over, Kelly will stop me at the right time and we'll make sure and get all those answered for you. So to get started, I'll point my camera over here. I've got a webcam pointed at my desk so that you all can see what I'm working on over here as we're talking about how to declutter smartphones. So let me get switched over to that camera before we get going. There we go. And I'll spotlight that, Kelly, so that it stays. Okay. There are two main smartphone makers in the world, smartphone makers, but types of phones, which I'm sure most people are aware. You've got your iPhones and you've got your Android phones. And we have 60 people on this call. So I'm guessing there's a good chance we have a mix of iPhone people and smartphone people. this is my actual phone, the one I use every day. This is just kind of a phone I use for demoing new apps and things. So you can see the one I use is full of, way more full of stuff than this one I just use for demos, which there's some things on it, so we can get to it later. But the nice thing about the way phones work these days is whether you have an iPhone or an Android, they're all basically the same. So the stuff I'm going to show you, you'll see they're really similar the way you interact with them, no matter which type it is. So if you have an iPhone and you get used to moving stuff around and deleting stuff and cleaning it up like I'm going to show you, your friend has an Android, I'm willing to bet you'll be able to help them out just by what you know on the iPhone, because they're real similar. So let's get started looking at these. The first thing I want to show you is how to get rid of apps you don't need anymore. A lot of these I don't use. I downloaded them once. I messed with them for a while. Don't need them anymore, if we're being honest. They're just taking up storage space on my phone. So the first thing to do if we want to delete an app, when you have an iPhone, is you just press and hold on it for a couple of seconds, and you'll see, I'll try to hold it up. They all started wiggling a little bit. And there's a little minus symbol on the corners of every single one of these little icons. So if I don't need this white one over here anymore, I can tap on the minus button and it gives you a couple options. You want to remove it from your home screen or delete it. So there is a difference between those two. Remove it from the home screen doesn't actually get it off of your phone, because maybe you think you will use it again 6 months from now. You just don't need it on your home screen anymore. So then you can just remove it from your home screen. Then the other option with the red letters, the scary red letters, is to delete it. If you don't need it anymore, just delete it. Or if you didn't mean to press that button, just hit cancel on the bottom like I'll do. So we're back to the way things were. This one is called, just for the sake of this demo, this one is actually named Pocket Codex. So what I'm going to show you is we're going to remove it. And instead of deleting it, so this is one option. If I just want to remove it from the home screen, you see it disappeared. They all shipped it up to free up the blank space. But it's not actually gone. So when you do it's the swiping down gesture on an iPhone. It brings up a search box, and this will search your phone for everything that's on there. So that one was called Pocket Codex. So if I start spelling pocket in here, it brought it back up. See, it didn't delete it from my phone. It's still there, so I can open it and use it, which there's nothing going on in this one because I didn't actually use it. I just wanted to look at it one day. So let's search for it again. Pocket, press and hold on it, and delete it. There we go. I've got some more on my home screen, so we can go over that again. Happy Healthy Pets. It's an app my vet really wanted me to use, but I am lazy, so I installed it and never used it. So let's just delete it. Press and hold on it till it starts wiggling. Hit that minus button, and then this one we're going to delete it. So it was called Happy Healthy Pets. So delete it. Are you sure you really want to delete it? Yes, I'm sure I really want to delete it. So then once you're done, they're still wiggling in case you want to go through and delete a bunch of others. There's a done button up at the top you can press, or you can just press down here on the blank spot and they all settle down. They stop moving around. But to show you that it's actually gone, I search for Happy Healthy this time after I swiped down. It's not coming up. Just other search results from other things on my phone came up. So yeah, it actually deleted it. So to show you how similar that is on an Android, I'll set the iPhone down. Where's something I feel like I can delete on here? Just since this is my work phone, I'll delete this library app. So same kind of thing. We're going to press and hold on it. And then down here, there's the remove. With an Android, it's slightly different. So if you press on and hold on it and then like drag it, like I'm still pressing on the screen, you can see up at the top, there's remove versus delete. So that's like on the iPhone where it lets you remove it from the home screen or actually uninstall it. So Android calls it uninstall. So this would just be removing it from your screen, but leaving it on the phone. Uninstall would be actually deleting it from the phone. So let's go ahead and do that. And it prompts you, make sure you realize, just in case you accidentally did that, do you really want to uninstall this? Yes, I do really want to uninstall that. So then we can go through and just uninstall all the apps that we don't think we need anymore. Like this podcast app. I don't need those at work. Drag it up here and uninstall it. So you're sure. So that's one way you can tidy up your phone. Just uninstalling all those apps that starting to cover your screen like this. I've got so many. Just uninstalling them. Another thing you can do with the apps on your phone is organize them into folders. Do I have any on the Android right now? I don't, so I'll show you the iPhone. So up at the top, I don't know if you can read it or not, but so you can see all the little tiny squares that are kind of grouped together. Whoops. That's because I created folders. I've got a work folder. I've got a folder for gaming because, shocker, this computer nerd likes video games. And I've got one for food, and ignore what that one on the right side says. Google stuff. We'll say that says Google stuff. So I categorized all these apps based on what they are. Like these are all food apps. So these are getting pizza delivered, getting like Grubhub, you can order whatever food you want. These are all food apps. The way you do that is, I've got 4 down here at the bottom. I've got Gemini, Grok, Copilot, Chat, GPT. Those are all AI chatbot apps that we will actually look at later. Spoiler alert. Let's create an AI folder for those. So the way you do that, so you can organize them, get them all clean and tidy, is you press and hold on them just like we did to delete so that it starts wiggling. There we go. They're shaking again. Then you just drag it over on top of another one and you'll see it slowly turns into, they're together inside this new window now. And it does, it tries to guess, I don't know if you can see in the camera, probably not. It guesses what you want to call this folder. So it named it productivity automatically just because people use chatbot apps for work. They use them to be more productive. So it took a shot at what it thinks I'm trying to do with this folder, but you can tap up in there and get your keyboard out. Let's just delete all of this. Call it AI. So then once you hit the checkbox and you're done, now the folder's called AI. And we can tap out of it. And just like before, they're still wiggling just in case you want to move more in there. So let's go ahead and get Grok in there. Sometimes they move around on you and it's kind of tricky to get it to hold still. Tap out of the folder and go get Gemini for Google's Gemini, and we'll put it in there too. So now all 4 of those are in that folder, and you can move them out if you decide you don't want it in there. It's just as easy as dragging them around, but we do want it in there. So hold it over there, AI, tap out of it when you're done. And just like before, we can hit the done button at the top, or you can just tap any blank space at the bottom and it'll stop. So we'll do that. And the folders on Android work the exact same way. So here's all our AI apps, Grok, Copilot, Gemini, same 4, just on Android. Doesn't matter what kind of phone you have, you can get the app for these guys. Press and hold on it. Come on, Nate, there we go. Drag it over on top of the other one. And this one doesn't open up in a big window, but you'll kind of see, it's hard to see on this camera, but if you drag them on top of each other, they do fall into a container. Get my finger out of the shot. And there you go. So now all 4 of those are in that one container. And if we open it up by tapping on it, down at the bottom, this one didn't try and name it. It just says edit name. So we'll tap in there and we'll call these AI as well. Hit the check mark when we're done. And there they are. And these folders, you can move those around wherever you want to. So if you just press and hold on the folder, decide you want it to be somewhere else on the screen or on a different page to get everything kind of organized together, you can move the folders around. Same thing with the iPhone. If you press and hold on that folder till it starts wiggling, drag it and you can put it somewhere else. Just like that. So that's how you delete apps to get them off your phone. And that's how you can create folders to kind of organize them in the same categories. So it's easy to find them later when you're looking for them. How are we doing so far, Kelly? Any questions that are worth I mean, they're all worth answering, but do we have any questions to answer so far?
I think what you meant is, do we have any questions that tie in right here? And we do.
Okay.
How do I move an app to another page?
Okay, so like are you talking about here where I've got apps on this screen and this screen, two different ones? Just like moving them around on the same screen where you press and hold and drag them around, you just go all the way to the edge and then it changes screens. So you just keep sliding all the way to the edge and your finger, it'll eventually move it to the next page if you hold your finger over on the side for a second or two.
Perfect.
That's how
There
you
you
do that.
go, Barbara. I think that's what you were asking. And I have one more.
They should work the same. Sorry, work the same on Android. It's a little easier on Android because you can see kind of the container around the edge. You can see where you need to go to get it to move it on another screen. With the iPhone, you just kind of have to press up on the edge, but it's a little easier to tell on an Android because of those lines that you cross and it moves it to another screen. Okay, sorry to interrupt. What's the next question, Kelly?
No, I interrupted you. The other question that I have right here, Nate, is any thoughts on why at times, oh, okay, you know what? Let's save this one. Let's let you keep going and we'll save this for the next section.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, got it. Makes sense. All right, so the other thing I wanted to talk to you about on cell phones before we move over to chatbot, AI chatbot basics. The last thing on the cell phones I wanted to cover is what should you do with your old phones, or if you are trading in a phone to get a new one, what do you need to do to make sure your data is safe, that you're not accidentally giving your personal data that's on these phones, because we do a lot of stuff on our phones. We do banking and we've got our internet searches on there. It's a lot of the time our passwords for things are saved. So there is a little bit of maintenance you should do to make sure nothing bad happens to your personal information on your phone. And that is referred to as resetting your phone or factory resetting your phone. On a lot of newer phones, so like on this iPhone, for example, if I wanted to reset it before I turned it in, a lot of phones, if you just, like I swipe down and that search box we were using before pops up, if I just type reset in there, oops, I typed reset. It gives you a bunch of options. It may or may not find what you're looking for, but everything that has to do with resetting came up. But in our case, on this iPhone, look, one of the options says, oops, I tapped it and I didn't mean to, I'm sorry. One of the options says transfer or reset device. It's right here. It's the gray one beneath the green, transfer or reset device. And that's what we want to do. We want to reset it. So the first thing you can do when you're looking for that is just find the search box, type reset like we did. If that's not working though, you can find that in your phone's settings menu. So on an iPhone, we'll look at that first since I have that in my hand. The settings menu is this one with the gear, the gray one with the gear. Did I tap it again? Look at me. Okay, the gray one with the gear, it says settings right there. And then this will often have a search box in it too. Sometimes it's at the top, sometimes it's at the bottom. You type reset in here and reset all settings will come up. There it is. So if I tap on that, Down here at the bottom, you can see how it says reset or erase all content. It will warn you on here that you're going to reset, you're going to delete everything, which is what you want to do when you're getting rid of a phone. But since this is my daily driver phone, I'm not actually going to do that. But just know it's called reset the phone or factory reset the phone. It'll take it a few minutes to go through all of its things, but resetting is what you want to do before you trade it in. That'll get it cleared out. Or if you're just, even if you're not trading it in, you've got an old phone sitting around and you don't need it anymore and you're taking it to Best Buy or a local computer shop where they recycle electronics, just try and remember to power it on one last time and do the reset from the settings so that it's safe. Let's see, on my Android, if I search, which on an Android, of course, they have to be different from an iPhone. You swipe up instead of swiping down to get to the search box. If I do reset on my Android here, is it going to come up? Reset options. Is that what we need? No, reset options lit up at the bottom. Erase all data. See, there we go. Factory reset. So this Android phone calls it factory reset. So it'll do a bunch of checks to make sure it'll work. It'll warn you all of this stuff's going to get deleted. There's a button at the bottom that says erase all data. I need to be very careful with so that I don't accidentally tap on that. Because while this isn't my daily driver phone, I do have it set up for things I use it for at work. I really don't want to actually reset this one. But just remember, if you're making notes, you want to reset your phone or factory reset your phone before you trade it in or sell it or throw it away or whatever it is you're doing with it. If it's not going to be yours anymore, reset it before you hand it off to the next person. I know that's a little more complicated than maybe some people are used to dealing with, but do we have any questions about the phone reset, Kelly?
We do. We have.
Okay.
We have. Could you also remove the SIM card?
Yes, you should do that as well if the phone has a SIM card in it. So if you're not familiar, let me think. I'm going to actually peel the case off of this phone. I think this one does have a SIM card. For the last few years, iPhones don't actually have SIM cards in them. It's all done electronically. So resetting the phone will take care of that. So if you've got like an iPhone 14, 15, 16, it shouldn't have a SIM card anymore. The older ones do. But let me shut the screen off here and pop off this case. But for the longest time, and even some phones still use SIM cards. They don't all have the digital SIMs. But it's a little tricky. You'll see, is there one on here? There has to be. There's a little, there it is. Hard to see in the light, but there we go. There's this little like pocket on the side with a tiny hole in it. So you have to get, if you buy a new phone that uses SIM cards, there's a little tool that you can use to pop that tray out. I think a paper clip might fit, and I think I have one over here. We're having all kinds of fun today, aren't we, Kelly? This is a fun question. I like it.
We get to see you MacGyver this. I am excited.
Paper clip too big. That one is too big. I might have to punt this one if I don't have a small enough paper clip, but there's just a thin metal. If you have a push pin, something like that, you just pop it in that hole and a little drawer pops out. And the SIM card is just a tiny little rectangular, kind of looks like a memory card. It's about 2 millimeters thick. It'll have the brand of your phone carrier. So whether it's Verizon or whether it's T-Mobile, nope, I don't have anything small enough here at work, but that's what you're looking for. A little oval, if I can get the light on there again, just a little oval thing with a tiny hole in it. But yes, you should pop your SIM card out. You should break that thing in half and throw it away before you're the phone. That's an excellent question.
I have another good question here. If I have several devices synced, will it eliminate all devices on reset?
No, no. If you have an iPad and an iPhone and they have the same apps on them and you can use like your iMessages on both of them, no. If you reset an iPhone, it won't do anything to your iPad. No.
Perfect. The other two questions we have are not about resetting specifically. I can certainly wait on them.
Are they phone related? Because this is the last thing I was going to talk about when it comes to
This
the
is the
phones.
end of the phone segment. Okay, well then here we go. Any thoughts on why at times my iPhone has difficulty communicating with Android phones via text? My text to them may be undelivered. Also, I
So,
may not,
oh, sorry.
no,
Sorry,
that
finish question.
also I may not receive their text.
Okay. This is my answer is going to be a little complicated just because, especially if this person has been having problems recently, because I've been experiencing the same thing. Last week or 2 weeks ago, the last couple weeks, Verizon had, and let me switch my camera up. We don't need to stare at my desk anymore. Verizon had an outage. So Verizon had an outage across the country. Phones were really spotty. They were working, they weren't working. And ever since then, my friends that have Android phones, a lot of the time when I send them a message, I'll get a little pop-up on my screen that says your message wasn't delivered. The strangest thing, though, is it was delivered. They're still getting the messages, but it's warning me that they weren't delivered. If you're talking about something that's happened months ago, or maybe even a year or two ago, iPhone and Android used to use different, well, let's just say different encryption for text messaging. And so they didn't always play nice with each other. But within the last year or so, they changed it so that they use the same encryption. So until we had that Verizon outage a few weeks ago, things were much better between texting between Android and iPhone, but I don't think they have that sorted out yet because I'm still getting those messages on my iPhone about my text wasn't delivered, even though it was. My friends got the message, they reply back. It's just really kind of annoying and frustrating that Verizon hasn't cleaned that up yet.
Good to know. Thank you for that. Okay, we have two more. Oh, now we have three more, and then we'll
Okay.
move on.
Okay.
All right. Tell me about the Cash App on my phone. I don't need that, right? I have a debit card with UBT. We're very glad you have a debit card with UBT.
Cash App is just another one of those payment providers like PayPal or Venmo or Zelle, which you can use from within the UBT mobile app. No, Cash App, if it's not something you're using, you don't have friends, family that you're sending or receiving payments from through Cash App, there's no reason to keep that. You can go ahead and delete it. And if you decide you need it tomorrow, just open up the Play Store or the App Store and just download it again.
Perfect, thanks. iPhoto can make files. Is it as easy as putting the apps into the boxes?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. I'm not sure what the person asking the question means by making a file. I mean, like printing a picture or like emailing a picture you've taken to somebody else?
Deborah, why don't we go on and perhaps if you're still on, you could clarify for us.
Okay, that makes sense.
And Kay would like to know what SMS on a text means.
SMS, I don't remember specifically. It stands for like standard messaging system or something along those lines. It's a type of encryption. So the modern most secure way that people send text messages back and forth is called RCS chatting versus SMS chatting. I wouldn't be concerned if your phone is using SMS, especially if if you're in a group chat with part iPhone, part Android. A lot of the time they have to go SMS so that all the messages get sent to everybody. It's just an encryption version. The way they keep your messages safe, it's just an older encryption versus RCS, which is a newer encryption.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, I know that you want time to switch gears, and now I have, oh, Barbara's clarifying.
Okay.
I mean, how to organize my photos. Right now, my photos are in the order that I had taken them. If I want to see family photos, I go back through the entire scroll for years back.
I'm not aware of a way to change the way those can be organized in either Google Photos or the Apple Photos. There might be a way, there might not. I'm just not familiar with it. I know with the newer versions of Android, if you use, there's like a search, sorry, not Android, iPhone. The newer versions of iPhone, there's a search box in your Photos app. And if you type dogs or people or cars, it does an okay job of filtering by those search terms. But as far as permanently moving them around to get them to stay categorized, I'm sorry, I don't have the answer for that one today.
Good to know. And here's another photo question. Nobody wants to know about AI. The best way to download photos from iPhone to computer.
I would just get it depends on who your phone is. If it's I think it's a Apple 15 or newer phone, you just get a USB-C cable and plug it into the phone and plug it into the computer. And then when you open up your iPhone, there will be a little warning that says, do you want to allow data transfer? And you say yes. And then on your computer, you open your file explorer and your iPhone is right there and you just click into it and there's a ton of folders and they are filled with your photos.
Perfect.
You can
Thank you.
drag them to wherever you want on your computer. If it's
Okay.
older than an iPhone 15, the cable you need is called a Thunderbolt cable. Plug it into your computer.
Thank you. Okay. We'll let you take it away.
Okay, we'll move on to some AI basic training, huh?
We're excited.
Okay. Okay. I am going to share a super fancy graphic that I put together showing the top 4 most popular AI chatbots that are out there right now. So we're talking about Microsoft Copilot, ChatGPT, Grok, and Google Gemini. And these are kind of all based on the same thing, but different. Let's just say they're all very similar. They answer your questions in slightly different ways. But these are all basically the 4 you'd probably find yourself interacting with the most. If you decide you want to dip your toes into AI, I would use one of these 4. There are others, but these are like the most trusted ones, the most standard ones that people use. So what is an AI chatbot? Well, the difference is, like, you're probably used to going to Google or Bing and searching for whatever it is you're looking for information about. So for example, let me stop sharing this and switch to a browser so we can actually see searching. So browser, where's my Google? There it is. Okay. Everybody's used to seeing Google for the most part, where you just type whatever it is you're looking for. So example, if I go to Google and I type chicken chicken pot pie. That's what I wanted to try. Chicken pot pie recipe. This is how, you're used to interacting with internet searches. You just put the name of whatever it is you're wanting to learn about. Super Bowl winners or Ford Ranger colors. You just type the name of the thing you're looking for. So let me just hit enter. So this is pretty new. No, sorry, this is not pretty new. This is pretty standard. You've got, here's a page with a recipe, here's a page with a recipe, and so on and so on. You just scroll. Who knows which one to pick? Some are good, some are bad. Maybe they're all good, maybe they're all bad. We don't know. The only AI chatbot, and I'll show you the difference here, that I'm allowed to click on here at work is Microsoft Copilot. So let's just go back to our Google search. And that's not because anyone is worse, better than the other. Not because Copilot is better or more safe. It's just the one that is not blocked here at work. So I can show you that one. So I just searched for Microsoft Copilot. If you've got Google brought up and you want to search for Grok or you want to search for Gemini, use whichever one you want. But they all work very similar to this, almost exactly the same. So let me get this brought up. It'll load. This one. It says I've clicked it before. There it goes. Okay. So it looks a lot like Google, where there's a prompt right here where you can type what you want. But the way chatbots are designed is for you to interact with them like you're talking to another person. So if you wanted to ask your friend, what's the best chicken pot pie recipe? You wouldn't walk up to your friend and go, chicken pot pie recipe, right? These are designed to have like an actual conversation with. So we're going to do it the same way. What is the best? Hey, what's this? Oh, verifying I'm a person. That's good. Yes, thank you. I'm a human being. I love the internet. What is the best chicken pot pie recipe? And we're going to hit enter and see what it comes up with. So it's thinking. What it's actually doing is it's just searching the internet, doing the same kind of thing you would do if you searched for chicken pot pie recipe in Google. And it's based on different things like ratings, the number of clicks on websites. It's coming up with what it's assuming, what it's going to suggest as for a good chicken pot pie recipe. And you can read all this. Look, it's having a conversation with you. A standard top-rated chicken pot pie based on expert text kitchens, thousands of home-cooked reviews. Okay, so these things are designed to be very chatty, as you can tell. But if we scroll down, it's telling we've got the taste of home chicken pot pie. It's got a 4.8 out of 5 review based out of 393 reviews. Here are the things people like about it. You can read about it, scroll down. Oh, wow, it actually has 4 different ones, 5 different ones. Which one of these is the best? So it's got all of this information. So we could tell me about number 4. I want to make number 4. So it says, excellent, Sally's baking recipe, which number 4, that's what it was. Below is the fully written recipe. Here you go. For the crust, you need dough, you need pie crusts or pie crusts. So make your own or buy pie crusts. All the steps for the filling, how to finish it off, step-by-step instructions on how to set the thing up. So the difference here, instead of there just being a huge list of web pages that you're picking from, you had a conversation back and forth with it, and it's spelling out the recipe for you. Another thing you can do that makes this more interesting than just a web search is here at the bottom, it'll usually ask you for clarifications. Do you want to make this change to what we were talking about? Do you want to make that change to what you were talking about? So just like here, it says, if you want, I can also make you a shopping list to get these ingredients. Or do we need to make it larger or smaller or suggest variations? So we could say a variation. So this sounds great, but how could I make it with less salt and no dairy? You're just having a conversation back and forth. So it's telling me, yes, we can actually absolutely make this with lower sodium and dairy free without losing all of the good things. So then it goes through and it modifies the recipe based on things it has learned from the internet about how to make dairy substitutions and how to make salt substitutions. They can get kind of wordy, as you can see. They like to have a conversation back and forth. So any number of topics that you could think of, if you want to learn how to fix something, or you want to learn how to set something up in your garden, it doesn't really matter. You can ask these chatbots whatever you want. And it's really slick. I love it a lot because when I'm scrolling through like Google search results, it's really hard to tell what's a good website, what's just an ad that somebody paid to be at the top of the Google search results. So it might be a terrible website. They just paid to be at the top. So now I'm looking at it and it's not helpful. This will just give you the answer right away. Now I say it'll just give you the answer right away. If you're asking it something important, one thing to know about AI chatbots, and it's not to scare you away from using them because they can be super helpful, is they will make up answers from time to time because they're kind of designed not to tell you no. They're designed to act like they have the answer, whether or not it's right. So a lot of the time, not a lot of the time, every time, they have to have these links so you can verify what it said. So if you asked it, hey, how come my foot hurts when I cough? And it gave you a bunch of explanations, there will be little links like this where you can click on it and verify that the answer it gave you, is actually from a reliable medical website. And this probably isn't going to load because of our network security, but there will be links like this. So they're super helpful. It can be a lot of fun to ask it wild questions and see what kind of answers it can come up with, but always take everything they say with a grain of salt, just like you would if you did a Google search. You wouldn't just run out and do what the very first web link told you to do on a Google search. You'd want to ask other people. You'd want to check 3 or 4 different sites. So if you're ever a little suspicious of the answer these chatbots are giving you, you can check their sources because they'll always give you a website of where they're getting this information from. But this saves me a lot of time instead of having to dig through pages and pages of Google links looking for the answer to my questions. A lot of the time, I'll just drop them in one of these chatbots right away and see what I think of the response from the chatbot. And like I said before, Grok looks almost exactly like this. Gemini looks almost exactly like this. ChatGPT was probably the original one, and it's probably the one people use the most just because it was the first. They look exactly like this. There'll just be a little chat prompt in here where you just have whatever question you want back and forth. Just always don't be afraid to check the sources if you question them and to go back and forth with it. They're totally designed to. Having a conversation with a computer sounds like kind of a silly thing to say, but they're designed for you to ask for refinements like I did with this pot pie recipe. Can we make this without salt? Or can we make it without dairy? Or I need it to be bigger or smaller, and it'll adjust its response based on what you're asking it. So what do you think? Clear as mud? Any questions on this before I kind of look at the mobile app versions of these
We
real
do
quick,
have
Kelly?
some questions, and we have 2 that what I would call a bit deeper questions, Nate,
Oh,
that I'm going to save.
all right.
But just for questions, one is, of the 4 AI platforms, is there one that works best on Android phone? And I apologize, you were just going to look at the mobile applications.
Yeah, I can show you those on the phones. What you'll see is that they are all basically the same. I'll open a couple of them and you'll see that they behave almost exactly the same way. They're just different colors, essentially. Google Gemini probably would be the best one for Android because Google owns Android. So if you've got stuff in Google Gmail, if you've got stuff in like your Google Photos and your Google Drive, and if you want to sign in with your Google account on the Google Gemini thing, then it can reference all your stuff for you. You can ask it, hey, do I still have that picture of the brown horse from 1980? And it'll probably just try and go look through your photos and find it for you. But those kind of features where they're that tightly integrated probably come with a monthly fee. So you may not want to pay $20 a month for that kind of thing. It's up to you. Maybe you do.
Great, thanks. Does Chatbox bring up YouTube? I think what they're asking is.
It won't play a video. Like in that window where I was scrolling through the different steps of the pot pie recipe, there will not be a video you can play in there. But if you're asking it for a list of videos about a certain topic, they should be in those links on the side where you can click on them and then, you know, YouTube would open up or whatever website it finds your video on should open up in a separate browser window so that you can watch that video.
Perfect, thanks. And Joyce would like to know if she can bookmark or save the info presented.
There's almost, let me see if I can, I should be able to show that real quick. Bring that page back up real fast. So after you have a conversation with it, it's so funny to say have a conversation with it. There's this little copy button. So you could take this and copy it into an email or a text document or a Word document if you just wanted all of this to be saved separately. But there's always a copy. So then you could, you know, go down to, if we're pretending this is an email or it's a Word doc, paste it, and there you go. So it just pasted all of that stuff because I right-click copy and right-click paste. So that's probably the best way to get that kind of a thing out of the results from what you were asking a chatbot.
Perfect. That's what I do. Good to know I'm doing the right thing. Okay.
Ready to move on to the last portion?
We are.
Okay, we'll get my camera switched to my desk and we'll look at a couple of the mobile apps. It'll probably be hard to see because they're on a phone and it's trying to look at a screen, and a screen usually doesn't go very well. So let's see, I put all of those in a folder, didn't I? Yeah, AI, there we go. So I'm going to click ChatGPT just because it's probably the most popular one. But see how it just popped up right here and says, ask anything. You'll notice though at the top, so there's our ChatGPT. And on this side, I might not be able to get it to show, but this white button up here in the corner says sign up. So most of these, there's like a daily or a monthly limit of chats you can have with the chatbot for free. So if you end up using it a ton, and you blow through all your free chats and you want to keep using it, they'll make you sign up for an account and pay them 5, 10, 20, whatever it is, dollars a month. I don't use it that much. I've never needed to sign up for a paid account, but there is a sign up button up there, and that's why. You may, if you end up blowing through all your free ones, need to sign up for a paid account. But down here, ask anything. So just like the chatbot, the Copilot that we did in the web browser I was sharing, what colors did the 1990 Ford Ranger come in? Question mark. I don't know where I'm coming up with these questions, Kelly. But there it goes. It's answering just like it did on web page. So we have black, white, Oxford white, silver metallic, reds, mediums, browns, blues. Wow, you could get the Ford Ranger in a lot of colors. But you can see the little, it's hard to see, but these little gray buttons below all the responses, those are those links where you can click on them to open up a web page to verify that it is not lying to you. So automotive touch-up, here it's showing this is a website where you can buy paints to match Ford Rangers, 1990 Ford Ranger. So this is where it got most of its info, I think, was from this website, because they all these little links say automotive touch-up. But Yeah, see, it's essentially the exact same thing. There's even a tiny copy button down there if you wanted to paste it into an email to send to a friend or whatever. Let's do Google Gemini as well. So it's letting me know if I want to sign in with my Google account. Do I have to? Ooh, it looks like I have to. So I might have to use a Google account for this one. If you don't have a Google account, it might make you create one. But I'll sign in as me. Why not? Because I like you guys. Hello, Nate. I'm ready to help you do all of the things. That's great. What should I ask it, Kelly? We're asking
I kind of
Gemini.
like the car color question. Let's do another one of those.
Okay. What colors were the 2002 Chevy Malibus? Was that
Very
even
nice.
was that even available in Chevy in 2002? We're gonna find out. So there it goes. It's just answering away. But
Wow.
see, this looks essentially exactly the same, right, as what we saw in ChatGPT, because they're all basically the same thing. So here at the bottom, even asked me something new. It's like, hey, are you interested in wiring color codes for the radio? I don't know why it thinks I'm interested in the radio now, but it's wondering if I am. So I'm being like, no, just the colors today. What about 2013? Question mark. Just a second, it's thinking. Oh, more paint colors. 2013 models moved away from the earthy 2000s greens and more toward metallic grays. And here's all the different colors. Oh, and at the bottom it said, do you want to know about interior colors? So it kind of goes back and forth with you. It wants to keep you on the line as much as possible. So you keep going, ask it different questions, but these are exactly the same. Let's see if I can find the Android ones. Works just like the desktop ones. We'll click on Grok for this one. So this one, Grok here, this is based on Twitter's information. You can log in with the Google account. You can log in with an email account. You can log in with your Twitter account. Or this one up at the top, there's a tiny little skip button. So we don't have to actually sign in for this one. We can skip and just ask away. How big do, since Kelly brought this up earlier, turkeys get? Question mark.
Awesome.
Continue with my age. When was I born? What is it going to show me? Adult material relating to turkeys? Oh, this is interesting. Grok is under high demand right now, so they're not even letting free accounts use Grok today because they're so busy. So I could sign in with a Google account or a Twitter account, but Grok isn't going to answer questions on free accounts today. They're too busy, so poo-poo on them. But hopefully that's enough to get you started using chatbots, or at least kind of understand what they are and what the difference is between just a standard internet search or going back and forth with a chatbot to get answers to questions or to learn how to do something new.
That was super helpful. And in fact, Nancy said that very thing. This has been very helpful to me. Thank you.
Excellent.
Nancy, you're welcome. We're so glad. Denise would like to know if you consider those links that you were showing us as safe to click from AI.
Generally, I would say yes. Generally, they are. I wouldn't be too worried about it. You can always just point your mouse at them, just like you can any link, and it should bring up a little preview, kind of the name of the website. So if that looks fishy to you, maybe don't click the link. But these have been trained on they've been trained on pretty known safe areas of the internet. So yeah, I would not be too concerned about those links.
Right. I'm going to jump up here to a couple that I've skipped and then we'll come back down
Okay.
to other questions. This one, and Julie, before I ask your question, I'm going to preface it by saying that we asked Nate to join us today to give a very informational, kind of high level overview of not just tidying up your tech, but also of AI. So this is going to be probably his opinion. We're not asking him
Okay.
to give some heavy information or advice. Julie wants to know, did I scare you with that? Julie wants to
Not
know
too bad.
if you can briefly explain the environmental cost of using AI. She's heard that it requires a tremendous amount of energy and water to ask even one simple question.
I've heard the same thing, Julie. Is as much as the worst I've probably heard it described, and I don't know if this is accurate or not. It's just, things you hear from one person or another, or you see on a forum on the internet somewhere, that it takes essentially like a bottle of water to cool the computer every time you ask it a question. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. I do know that these data centers do use a huge amount of electricity, and they do need a lot of water to cool the computers in there. But I have been reading lately that these big four not manufacturers, or yeah, the big four players, all of them are developing chips that are computer chips that are specifically designed to handle AI questions and won't need as much energy in the future. So yes, they're definitely using a lot, but they're looking for ways to minimize that as much as they can, from what I understand.
Okay, thank you. I am very sorry, Sharon. I should have asked this question earlier when Nate was focusing on phones specifically, and I could have asked you for more information then. Sharon typed stealing identity from your phone, and I think the question was related to cleaning up your phone, Nate, before
Yeah,
you, which would make sense. That's what we're trying to prevent, is getting that
yeah,
phone squeaky clean.
going through those steps to reset the phone or factory reset the phone before you give it to someone else to recycle it, that'll certainly significantly reduce the chance that anyone can steal your personal information off the phone.
Perfect. Thank you. Oh, and now we're back to AI. We're just jumping around like crazy. In a class I took a year ago, the instructor said that the data in these AI databases is not current. Is that still the case?
I am not sure. I know when they first released them a year or two ago, when they became more popular all the time, I do remember hearing that like these were trained on everything the internet knows up to 2021 or 2011 or whatever it was. I don't remember the year, but yeah, they went to a certain extent. But what I've noticed lately, and I apologize for not constantly being up to date with everything that these people are working on. What I've noticed is that I can search for results of sports games that happened yesterday, and they provide the right answer. So there's at least some extent of current internet out there that they have access to if they can give me data on what happened yesterday. So I don't know what extent that is, but I've noticed that they have data to some newer things.
I would agree, just in using it for research. Yes, it still warrants verification, but it does seem to
Oh,
be getting more
absolutely.
current.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Doesn't it depend on whether you're using a free version or not? That was the case with Chatbot anyway, and I think that has to do with the free, whether or not the information is current.
Oh, it might. I don't know for sure on that one.
Okay, we may be out of time for this. Sharon did clarify. She was interested in
How
cyber
did we
theft.
blow through an hour already?
I
I thought
know,
my little
isn't that
outline wasn't
something?
going to last more than 20 or 30 minutes.
Our time always goes so quickly when we're together, Nate, and with such a great group. Sharon said that she was really inquiring about cyber theft on her current phone.
Oh, there are certainly malware and viruses that exist on phones, but it's far less common than like on a desktop computer as far as getting malware and stuff on your phone. So I'm sure it's possible, but I don't think it's nearly as common as it is through a desktop computer.
Thank you. Thank you. Nate, this has been so informative. I always learn so much from you, and I always appreciate the pace at which you inform. You're a great teacher, and we're also appreciative. We're getting some thank yous.
Oh, you're
Thank
all
you.
welcome, very much.
Thank you for joining us today. And thanks to all of you for tuning in for the very last segment of Tune Up Tuesday. Look for the recap log of all our presenters, along with links to the recordings. And we'll see you in September for Smarter in September. Nate, I hope you'll consider joining us again soon. Take care,
I'm sure I
everyone.
will. These are
Oh,
a great time.
you will? Good, good. And we'll bring questions for you.
Sounds great. Bye.
Perfect. Thanks, everyone. Bye.